And the hits just keep on coming as Tesla bounces up against $230 a share. We didn't know that that was going to be a resistance area. We thought it was supposed to be 220, which Tesla just pounded right through up to 230 and now hanging out around just under that 230 mark. What will it take to make it just pop on through and go up to that 265 range that people have been talking about? You think that's impossible? I don't think it's impossible. Am I calling it? Not quite yet, but getting close. Listen, Elon says, here's some of the stuff that's going on. Number one, Elon says we are starting a new book, not just a new chapter. Always take Elon at his word. He may or may not accomplish things exactly when he hopes to. As he says, he always gets it done, maybe late. But what's key is what he says he believes. This is very important to keep in mind. What he says he believes. He believes we're opening a new book. That matters. Retail and some analysts now get the shift. This is a narrative change. The narrative change started almost 8-9 months ago. Elon first started talking about the shift where Tesla was no longer an automobile company. It's now an AI company that specializes in robotics of the four-wheel and the two-legged type. Okay, so that was the time that he announced it. Now we're seeing the shift. People are getting the idea that the shift is taking place. Elon reiterates and says we're starting a new book, opening a new book. And now you're seeing analysts and retail people start to believe it. I believed it from the day he said it. But that's because that's my nature with regard to Elon, at least. That's why I wrote the books, is because he puts out a vision and then he executes. This is his big superpower. Okay, then Elon's pay package now looks secure. I really liked what Larry said last night on the show. Maybe I'll put that card up again because Larry explained in detail why he believes that the lawyers have provided a slam dunk case. There's like no way that, he thinks that the activist judge can still find a way to say no, but he thinks that the case that's being made is so good that if she says no, that when it gets to the Supreme Court of Delaware, which is the appeals court for the chancellery, when it gets there, they probably would overturn her if she doesn't make the right move. A very strong case, he says, both in the law and also in the case law. There are actual legal statutes in the state of Delaware with regard to redoing a vote like this, that means that the vote counts, all right? So then the move to Texas is done. And so that's another big, I think that's a big underlying feeling of relief of people saying, okay, we can move on now. There's today's beat on the numbers. Why is that number 7 on the list? Well, it's number 7 on the list because it is just a day in time. It's an evidence of a directionality. It's really, really good, but it's just one day. Then the next is Elon is now focusing more of his posts on Tesla. That is giving an appearance of more focus on Tesla. I think that's making me more comfortable, makes me happy. Hopefully it makes you happy, but I think it's making everybody happy. We're starting to see things move again. Okay, so whether it's getting the something happening over in Reno, whether it's happening with regard to Model 3 performance, things are popping more. There's more energy. Everybody feels it. I know. Let me know in the comments. If you don't feel the energy, I feel the energy. Maybe I'm just the crazy optimist. Then there's 8.8. I didn't even mention 8.8 yet, but I think it is an underlying part of why the market is moving the way it's been moving for the last week. I said that last week. I believe that people are starting to have FOMO about 8.8. They're having FOMO about Robotaxi, having FOMO about FSD. They're having FOMO about the Gen 3, Gen 2.5, whatever you want to call it, vehicle that's going to come out, and so much more. And people are expecting an awful lot out of 8.8. But I think that Tesla will deliver on 8.8. I think this is going to be a historic event, and I think there will be a delivery that will be shockingly better than as good. Let's put it as good as people are expecting. Sure, Will they hit every single thing that we're hoping they'll do on 8.8? Of course not, but I think they'll hit enough. All right. That's just me. That's what I think. And there's so much more than that list that I just said that's coming. And it's just going to keep getting better and better from here. So I have, the reason I'm putting this video out instead of Brian, you know, Brian's video is usually what I do on Tuesday, but I just thought there's so much going on. I thought, well, we could talk about it tonight when I've got Nicholas Gibbs on, but there's just too much. And Nicholas and I will have plenty left to talk about. By the way, that show is going to be a little on the late side tonight, probably around 6 o'clock California time before that is produced. So watch for that. It's going to be probably the best show he and I have ever done, because we are going to introduce, if nothing else, I'm going to tell you what I think the #1 catalyst for Tesla of all time will be. And it's coming. It's coming soon. It will be the #1 catalyst of all times. It will drive the stock probably 100 points in a single day, maybe more. All right. So there's a teaser for you. So like, subscribe, notify, all that stuff. You know, this is Randy Kirk, and please join Patreon. Had a bunch of people increasing from the $3 to the 10, increasing from 5 to 10, people joining. I will put that list up tomorrow morning on the show. If you want to be named on the show tomorrow morning, this is the perfect time to go down to the description below, hit Patreon, join up at the $3, the $5, or the $10 level. You know, you get prizes and stuff. Okay, you're going to get books, or you're going to get a Cybertruck bottle opener. All you got to do is join up at the $5 or the $10 level for the gifts. It's all described in the panel. I mean, down in the description. Okay. We've had the first positive surprise of the year, says Morgan Stanley Adam Jonas, with a note out just this morning. Tesla started its Independence Day celebration early with a positive second quarter delivery beat, $30,000 less, 30,000 units of less inventory, and a huge storage beat to remind investors it's not just an auto company. Deliveries beat, but second quarter deliveries came in 443, as you know, 956, almost 444,000. The street was at, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read all this because we've already talked about this morning. Okay, so let's go on. Tesla, he still thinks it's going to be really hard to beat last year's, 1.8 million. I don't. I think we will beat 1.8 million substantially. I'm thinking 2 million, maybe not quite, but maybe 2 million. It's certainly possible. Plenty of productive capacity to get it done. Lots more Cybertrucks will be being built. The main place that I think it's going to have to come from is the U.S., but we'll see. We'll see. Inventory reduction is a $1.5 billion boost to working capital, according to Morgan Stanley. 33,000 more units. That will boost. So AJ had earlier said he thought we would have 500,000 in free cash flow. I'm saying now there's a 1.5 billion change, so that might mean 2 billion in free cash flow. So that is going to be a positive. They were thinking it might even be negative free cash flow, and now it would be positive. They're saying the energy storage deployments, a show stealer from today's update, is the all-time record high stationary storage, 9.4 gigawatt hours for second quarter, which is 2 times their forecast. So now they got to go back and completely change the forecast. We're going to talk a lot more about storage, so I'm not going to go on with what he had to say about storage. He finalizes his note by saying, Tesla's getting its mojo back. Little more than 2 weeks ago, our clients, listen to this now, 2 weeks ago, our clients were preparing for shareholders to reject Elon Musk's 2018 comp package, potentially setting up the change of management strategy, compounding months of negative news flow. Fast forward to today, clients are beginning to ask us about positive catalysts into second quarter results and beyond. We're getting asked for our proprietary Tesla energy model and even our humanoid robot TAM model. Is this the same Tesla from early June? Maybe not, as I mentioned above. All right, Sawyer Merritt says that Canaccord Genuity analyst he goes by Ginarikas on X. he goes by that, has increased his Tesla price target to 254 from 222 and reiterated his buy rating. I think we will be at 254 plus 100 by the end of the year, and maybe a lot more. Anyway, Tesla. Tesla. This is the quote: Tesla's upcoming earnings report after the market close on July 23rd will bring lots of new information, margin results improving, possible details of new vehicles, energy storage updates. However, we think one detail stands out heads and shoulders above the rest in terms of important: FSD take rates. With the company's bet the firm focus on autonomy, the recent 1-month free trial, and the price reductions, we are very curious about recent FSD customer transactions. Yes, the system will get better over time, but with Tesla's upcoming Robotaxi Day and potential margin upside with FSD, how many people want that system now in its current condition? Are consumers ready to pay what Tesla is asking to be attentive while driving? We are autonomy Uber bulls, but believe in its current form, Tesla would be best served with another FSD price reduction. See our survey results, but we'll see. Maybe FSD take rates are through the roof. Okay, now on that energy deal, I got 2 stories right here. One is Dylan Lumis. He does the math for us on the energy storage situation. He, by the way, on X is Dylan Lumis, Loomis 22. Okay, let's put this record Tesla energy deployment quarter into context. 9.4 gigawatts equals 9,400 megawatts. Okay, one Tesla Powerwall is 13.5 kilowatt hours, costs $9,300 each. One Tesla Megapack, 3,900 kilowatt hours, $2 million. Note, Tesla has reduced the Megapack pricing significantly on the website, but most, if not all, deployments in Q2 were at the higher pricing. If we assume 70% of deployments in Q2 were Megapack, that would be 6.58 million kilowatt hours. That leaves 2.82 million kilowatt hours of Powerwall. So then he does the math. He says, okay, Tesla's charging 513 kilowatt hours for Megapack and $689 for Powerwall, $689 for Powerwall. So he figures all that out, and he comes up with total revenue earned in the Q2 only, $5.3 billion. At a 25% gross margin, that is $1.325 billion in profit. Annualized, that takes us back up to $5.3 billion, or $1, and I added in this, $1.65 per share. Energy alone at a 60 multiple is $100 of the morning's $230 valuation. To date, Tesla's record quarter for energy revenue was $1.6 billion, and the record for energy profit was $403 million. So huge difference. It's true that revenue recognition for Tesla Energy will be bumpy quarter over quarter. We understand that, but these profits are now in the future. They're either going to be announced on, is he going to show up in the Q3, the Q4, or the Q5? Everything that's happening is real. It's just that there's bookkeeping reasons why we can't take it until later. Larry Goldberg has this to say. He says, back in March, I made a claim that Tesla Energy would ultimately exceed the auto business. Well, Elon Musk said that energy will ultimately exceed the auto business. I may have underestimated, he says. Tesla has already exceeded by Q2 my entire 2024 projection. The Tesla Energy story is becoming very exciting. I believe revenue contribution to gross profit this quarter, based on today's 9.4, corrected from the 9.1 in the original post, gigawatt hour reported installs and recovery from reserve will be over 900 million and will increase 120% quarter over quarter. I believe that by 2020, this is not me, this is Larry, but I agree with Larry. I believe that by 2026, energy will contribute more gross profit than the auto business, excluding FSD and Robotaxi earnings, of course. So 2026, raw energy versus raw metal energy will be bigger in contribution to earnings, he says, by 2026. How about that? And Elon, of course, has said that would be true. Now he's basing it, I guess, right now. I don't know whether he's got more than 2 factories for megapacks and whether or not he's got more than, increases over the current capacity at those 2 locations, or whether he's figuring in that there'll be at least a 3rd or maybe a 4th megapactory started and in business by 2026. I'm thinking that they're going to start rolling out mega factories like crazy, but what do I know? I have been wrong about that. That's for sure. Way slower than my predictions, but maybe at some point that I'll catch up. We'll see what happens. All right, that's all I got for you right now. Please hit like and subscribe and notify, and we'll have Brian White. Maybe it'll be tomorrow, maybe it'll be Thursday, maybe it'll be Friday. Whatever. The Brian White thing that I did was on Full Self-Driving. It is not news associated. It will still be just as good on Friday or Saturday as it is today. We will have normal programming tomorrow. We will have normal programming on Thursday. So it's going to be an exciting week. And so make sure that you hit notify and then join Patreon. Go on down right now. This is the perfect time to do it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm also going to put a card up here for Larry and my conversation last night about where we talked about the situation with the the Chancellery Court. We talked about a lot more than that, which it was a great show. I think it's one of my top all time in terms of viewership. So I'll put that card up so you can go check that out if you want to. All right. See you later with Nicholas Gibbs. It'll be great. Great talking to you.